I'd say in the next 10 minutes.
All right, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
No, I'll probably stay on the phone with you.
What I'll do, is I'll do an intro.
I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
Motor. Use trucks. I'll direct you. Hey, good morning, Steve. Good morning, Warwolf Posse. We are at the Asheville Regional Airport. Behind me is the tarmac. I'll just step aside. I'll set the seat.
Maybe zoom that camera up a little bit as well. Group of, I would say probably 120 people here.
Kind of the same thing as with the friends and family. Once the president gets back into the building there, you can try and exit as quickly as possible before the president starts to move. But again, you will have to remain where you are. And I know it's tough. You're going to get your equipment and get out of here. So if you don't think you're going to make it in time,
so
you just wait until the president leaves the facility. Okay?
What I've been told is some officials there that will be able to listen to the ground and see what the lack of support is from the federal government.
soon as the president
from what I've been told,
comes over here and
the
makes those big announcements, I don't think once he's inside, everybody can leave. If you don't think you're going to be able
from that,
then just hold
the president will be back in the motorcade and bringing
if you're stuck in between, then that creates issues.
look at number two, which is
Okay, yeah, that's perfectly fine.
focus on some of the devastation.
There's not going to be a shuttle back.
Some residents there in the area, Steve, that are still waiting to build their community.
How these things go sometimes. Sure thing.
Yeah.
Well, it's going to kick off here. He's scheduled to land here local time at about 10:30. We'll see if we can give him some time there. We will be directly in that motorcade, leaving the airport to the first location. We'll cover that. We'll scramble back in the motorcade, going to the second location. So what you're going to see, because, and I want to break this down for our viewers, because of Secret Service regulations and security purposes, the camera shot you're going to see from our motorcade will be what we call a tail-light shot. It won't be necessarily out the side of the motorcade, but it will be a tail-light shot straight above, straight ahead rather. No audio for security purposes. But when we land on the ground, we actually arrive at where we're going, Steve. We will be full mode live audio video as we're scrambling to get in place for the president to make his vote. And to your point, your hope, I agree with you. What a great gesture it is right now. It just shows the human that he is, going to one of these natural disasters that we've seen in this country, and of course going out west later today to the Pacific Palisades, and that just shows the heart of the president and puts his priorities. It's Americans first, and we're seeing that right here in North Carolina today.
So we did know the Trump's got $2 billion. Chattanooga, Skyline News. So there's one that gets you.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It's so symbolic of what we all voted for on November 5th. And if you look at what happened in Western North Carolina, months before the November 5th election and the turnout we had there, they sent a message to Americans that, you know what, we want our priorities back on the people. And think that right now, this morning, the temperatures were, I would say, low they're in that position because due to the policies. This was interesting. I was getting in an elevator yesterday on the Hill Street. They had two House Democrats talking to each other in the elevator, saying they could not believe that they were going home to a potential threat of more forest fires in their area. And I really wanted to turn to them and say, does that surprise you? Your state's on fire and don't start there in Sacramento.
Press secretary's trying.
Of Gavin Newsom, but it's great that despite policies, political differences aside, President Trump is going to California to help those people out.
Zoom in. Oh yeah.
About that guy.
It's a good comfort to have. Okay. 27. Okay.
I don't think they do, but I'm just standing here just in case. In case for some reason they do want the program. Well, just because they were saying to wait for me to be the drone camera with the planes coming, and I was like, I'm not that tall.
Just got a $68 check here. Where we're facilitating supplies for families. We already supplied 20 RVs for families and faith-based. So just want to facilitate. There's so much stuff happening all over the place. We wanted to help facilitate stuff. So my daughter's here from New York. She's joining the team. She's going to help us take capacity. Connect resources with those who have needs.
Holy Spirit.
Faith community together. And I spoke with Doug. Canada's going to be one that has boots on the ground. Get your face known.
Mic check 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That's what my
It's time to go vote. They're going to know. We know that guy. We know his heart.
I am on
He's one of us.
I'm not up on the riser.
Always focused on
That way, Charles.
men of integrity and people up here. We
So,
never spend
I
time on
probably won't be able to answer.
bitter towards us.
Yeah, but I mean,
You know, Steve, you summed it up perfectly. You know, when I was standing on the north lawn there at the White House yesterday, and I was kind of reflecting back on the road that it took to get not only President Trump in office, but also for me personally. You know, you look back 5 years ago, I was fired from mainstream media for basically covering a Trump rally. Believe it or not, that's the reason why that they told me to think that I've kind of gone this far. I'm certainly appreciative of what has been offered to me, no doubt. And to have this unprecedented access that we've had all through the campaign, it's something pretty special. And you know, I gotta say, you know, it's outlets and personalities like yourself and all the things that you mentioned that have really made this movement special. Brought more people
So Franklin has
to
got
the
his
Trump
ears
campaign.
and his heart because remember the RNC.
yeah,
He said, I want
just
to
do like a
stand
big
someone close to
yeah.
what Franklin told me. President don't say.
Like
He said,
one
yeah, but I got a few good ones. Everybody cracked up. Franklin, I got a few good ones. But yeah, it's a game changer now. So FEMA extended it right away to May. So people out 2 weeks ago.
Hey, at least it's such a low neutral. I'll look so skinny.
Spoke to Jason
I'm
Simmons.
so obnoxious. I know you were concerned. A reporter's dream, you know. You could be 15 feet higher than me, please. Really make sure to hide the double check.
Yeah. It's a fair community, and still is, yeah. And FEMA was pretty busy trying to stop people from coming in, trying to stop Asian exports, trying to stop all the people.
Well,
And use it as their leverage in the community. That's her opposite. So a lot of stuff being exposed is fighting with all kinds of stuff.
Yeah.
God bless.
Yeah, it is, and I realize that a lot of the mainstream media would get their sound bites and they would monitor what the president is doing by outlets, by watching us and my side as well. So they understand the importance that if you want to know what President Trump is up to, just turn on Real America's Voice and you will find out exactly where he's at. Meanwhile, the majority of outlets simply did not do that. So, it's just a great day. But Steve, this is just the beginning. I truly feel this media landscape, press, outlets, and the seats on. You're welcome. Hey, when we talk about America first, let's talk about America first. Change that as well. United Studio or Italian radio on Air Force One. And here? Yeah.
Yeah, this is. It's not the greatest. I don't know if I'll ever use it. I'm over it.
Christine, your church.
You're not. The lid would be called on the Biden administration by 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Activity on his schedule. President Trump, and you know his schedule. He's up early, 5 o'clock, 4:30 in the morning, he's in the office working, and of course he stays out late and works as well. This guy works his tail off for very people, and I think as he is in the media, I think we're going to have a fun time with him. He enjoys talking to them. The press conference at Mar-a-Lago last month with the talking about the foreign investment, SoftBank and others, the SoftBank investment. But then Steve, for an hour and a half, he took questions, everything from UFOs to Secret Service to the budget to the border. He doesn't care. He absolutely says, bring it. And I love that about the president. I agree, and I support that decision because, during the press conference at Mar-a-Lago, breaking news was happening. Judge Cannon had released a statement regarding his case, and that was the first time he heard it. We got to see his real reaction to that. And, I had another journalist yesterday describe the tone in the briefing room, rather, right now, or it's like murderers roast of the liberal hating press. They're going to be coming after President Trump big time, especially on this part. As we start to see people getting these mass mass deportations. They're going to take the one or two little stories that might, for instance, you might have the lady that was crying at the gate in El Paso. They're going to take these stories, and instead of talking about the hardened criminals that are taking down this country, they're going to take these very isolated, personal stories. They're going to magnify that to attempt to, kind of repivot, if you will, on an immigration process. So, but hey, the American we get
Right. And so,
I said, y'all live in Asheville.
we thought it had you. Bad news is good news. We got more sports. Oh yeah. Yeah. Okay. And now with AI, oh my goodness, voice, it's getting scary. Pulling in on those technologies. Large box, where it's coming from. So many different layers of security. She said hi. You guys keep up the good work.
It is a big deal. Yes. Well, you know what? I think President Trump and Vice President J.D. has done so much for the campaign. He talked about it on his inaugural address. We know the people of Western North Carolina have not been forgotten this administration. So, I think today what I'm really looking for is that President Trump sits in their roundtable of elected officials program is to help to prepare
Sun's warming us up.
All right, everybody, let me step aside because I want to show you the scene here. Behind me is the airport here at the Eastern Airport. Look at the stairs that will walk off. Right there, as he walks down the road.
First, I want to thank you for fighting for America and for being a man who takes
Show some distance.
Microphone check, 1, 2, 3. This is an audio check. Hello, 1, 2, 3. Audio 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Mic check. got me. You guys are good.
Trying to get out of
No, we've got other cameras here.
and we want to take care of the people of North Carolina. I'm not going to California until I stop in North Carolina. So here we are. We're going to go visit the site, and we're going to work with probably 3 of the congressmen, Republican congressmen, who've been fantastic, whose areas have been affected, and with Michael Watley, the governor, and whoever else is, we decide to get involved. Probably less FEMA, because FEMA just hasn't done the job. And we're looking at the whole concept of FEMA. I like, frankly, the concept when North Carolina gets hit, the governor takes care of it. When Florida gets hit, the governor takes care of it, meaning the state takes care of it. To have a group of people come in from an area that don't even know where they're going in order to solve immediately a problem is something that never worked for me. But this is probably one of the best examples of it not working. And there's been some others, like in Louisiana, etc. So we're going to be doing something on FEMA that I think most people agree. I'd like to see the states take care of disasters. Let the state take care of the tornadoes and the hurricanes and all of the other things that happen. And I think you're going to find it a lot less expensive. You'll do it for less than half, and you're going to get a lot quicker response. So that seems to be the recommendation, but we'll be making that recommendation over the next couple of weeks. We're going to go to the site now, and we're going to figure out a plan for really demolition and cleaning, because not a lot's been done, and we're very disappointed. I said I'd do that, and this is about the earliest we could possibly be here, and we're honored to be here. This has been a great state. They're great people, and they've really been mishandled. But this group is going to be great, and we're going to get it taken care of. Any questions?
How will you respond to FEMA? Do you expect to ask Congress for additional aid for North Carolina and California?
It will be direct. In other words, the aid will go through us. So rather than going through FEMA, it will go through us. And I think maybe this is a good place to start. Because, and in all fairness to the governor, and in all fairness to everybody else, FEMA was not on the ball. And we're going to turn it all around. Yes.
A lot of Americans think that this is symbolic of what your campaign was all about. America first, putting your priorities to Americans, even going to California where their policies might have been one of the biggest reasons.
I like that question. Boy, I want more questions like that. So, reporter, I have to say, thank you very much. Yeah, we're putting America first. We're putting, in this case, North Carolina and California. We're going to do a good job in California. That is a disaster like, I don't know if we've ever seen anything like it, frankly. They say the biggest in the history of California. I think, has anything bigger than that happened in the whole country ever? It looks like, I don't want to say what it looks like, but you know what I'm going to say. It looks like something hit it, and we won't talk about what hit it, but it is a bad, bad situation. And I guess I'm going to meet with some government officials, but I mean, much more importantly, and in California, just to revert to it for a second, millions of gallons of water are waiting to be poured down through already the half pipes that are already built. I mean, they've been up for 40 years, and about 20 years ago, they turned off the water. And it's the water that comes from the Pacific Northwest. Some of it comes out of Canada, and it flows there, and it probably has flowed there for 1 million years. And they turned it off, and they routed out to the Pacific. And in the meantime, you don't have water in the hydrants. You don't have water in the sprinkler systems. It's the craziest thing I've ever seen. And everyone's trying to figure out, why aren't they turning it back? They say it's the Delta smelt. It's a fish. But I find that hard to believe. But we'll figure it out. And without doing that, you're going to continue to have problems.
President, what are you prepared to do, sir, if OPEC doesn't respond to your call to cut oil prices?
Well, we want to see OPEC cut the price of oil, and that will automatically stop the tragedy that's taking place in Ukraine. It's a butchering tragedy for both sides, by the way. A tremendous number of Russian soldiers are dead, tremendous number of Ukrainian soldiers, and a lot of people are dead from the bombing of the city. Almost in all cases, men. And over 1 million men are killed, and they're losing thousands of people a week. It's crazy. It's a crazy war, and it never would have happened if I was president. Would never have happened. This is crazy that it happened, but we want to stop it. Now, one way to stop it quickly and to drop the price of oil, because the OPEC ought to get on the ball and they ought to drop the price of oil, and that war will stop right away.
Mr. President, funding to Los Angeles because of its sanctuary city policy?
I want to see two things in Los Angeles: voter ID, so that the people have a chance to vote, and I want to see the water be released and come down into Los Angeles and throughout the state. Those are the two things. After that, I will be the greatest president that California has ever seen. I want the water to come down and come down to Los Angeles, and also go out to all the farmland that's barren and dry. You know, they have land that they say is the equivalent of the land in Iowa, which is about as good as there is anywhere on earth. The problem is it's artificial, because they artificially stop the water from going onto the land. So I want two things. I want voter ID for the people of California, and they all want it. Right now you don't have voter ID. People want to have voter identification. You just want voter ID as a start, and I want the water to be released, and they're going to get a lot of help from the U.S. Thank you very much. I'll see you in a little while. We'll see you at the site. We'll see you at the site.
Tell us more about the deportation flights. Where are they going from? Where are they going to?
Deportation's going very well. We're getting the bad, hard criminals out. These are murderers. These are people that have been as bad as you get, as bad as anybody you've seen. We're taking them out first. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you, Fred. Move to the grass. Move to the grass. Oh.
We can get a better vantage point. I can shoot a quick bridge.
Okay, let's do it. Where is the mic here?
I got it.
Okay, good.
Only thing is, I don't want to get in the shot.
Oh, okay.
So,
So
you
you
able to-
want to do it with the friends? No, I will basically. He is. I
think
can see
he
the
will.
limo.
Okay, let's
Do
do this.
you want to wait for him to appear? Want to do a dry run? Here.
Yeah. Let's do Ready? And then basically go.
Okay, you got your pencil up there.
Oh, where is it?
There you go. Okay. All right. Yeah, dry run.
All right. There were thoughts that President Trump would take an aerial tour of the damage here in western North Carolina, but as you can see, that is not the case. He is on the ground meeting with supporters. He will be.
You say it just met with supporters, or maybe just.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. 'Cause
Supporters
on his way to.
on his way
See the damage.
to
Yeah.
see the damage.
Good. Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right.
Still.
Okay. Okay.
Better yet, you just focus on him. I'll talk over him. Once he closes the door, you can finish on me if you want.
I'll pull out wide at that point. Good idea. Yep. So yeah, he's getting in another vehicle. It looks like. Hey, Patrick.
Hey.
Yeah, that's somebody else. This is gonna be somebody else's car.
Okay, let's just go for it.
Okay, here we go.
All right, 3, 2, 1. President Trump just meeting with supporters here at the airport. There were initial thoughts that he may take an aerial tour of the damage here in western North Carolina, but that is not his MO. Again, just meeting with supporters headed down to some of the hardest hit areas there. One of them, Swannanoa.
Okay, one more time.
President Trump just meeting with a number of supporters here at the airport. There was talk that he may do more of an aerial tour around western North Carolina, around the areas that were hit the hardest. That is not his MO. He is on the ground, headed to Swannanoa to meet with the family, meet with more supporters there.
All right. And we cover the second half of it if we need to with this car driving.
Okay.
Okay. We can do another if you'd like.
We could do one with them driving on. Now on his way.
Okay, yeah, maybe just a little tighter, a little more concise.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So yeah, I'll get his car. Okay, and sec.
Ready? President Trump meeting with
My bad. One more time.
3, 2. President Trump meeting with supporters here at the airport. There were talks that he might do an aerial tour of the area of the hardest hit areas here in western North Carolina.
That's okay. Here we go.
3, 2. President Trump meeting with supporters here at the airport. There were thoughts that he might do an aerial tour around looking at the hard hit areas, but that is not his MO.
Thank you very much, everybody. Please. Hi, Virginia. Well, thank you very much. It's a little cold outside, but you're getting used to the cold. And one of the things that are very important to me, and one of the reasons I'm happy that we won so convincingly, is to help North Carolina get fixed up. They supported us in record numbers, and I'm supporting them in record numbers too. And they had me set. I wanted to go to Los Angeles and see what was going on with California, why they aren't releasing the water. Millions and millions of gallons. I'm going to explain that one. In the meantime, they have no water in Los Angeles where they had the problems. So we're going there. But I said, well, what about North Carolina? Well, you could do that. No, I can't. I said, we're stopping in North Carolina first, and then we're going to Los Angeles. And we just appreciate the outpouring of love that we've had here. Laura was, as you know, very instrumental in the campaign. And she lived here and is loved, and we appreciate it. And Michael Watley has been incredible, wherever Mike. And what we thought we'd do is take a quick look around. First, we wanted to do this. I want to say that in FEMA, your new governor, it's not his fault. He's brand new to the whole situation. But we're going to work together with the governor. We're going to work together with the senators, but really we're going to work a lot with your congressmen, especially the three that are in the area, and Michael Watley. And I'd like to put Michael in charge of making sure everything goes well. And Franklin Graham has been, I've been hearing nothing but praise for the job that Samaritan's Purse has done with Franklin. And we appreciate it. Where is Franklin? He's around here someplace. And that good-looking guy, he's always been a good-looking guy. His father was a good-looking guy, too, I'll tell you. We loved his father, right? I saw his father in the latter years, and I said, well, he doesn't have long to go. He was having a hard time, and he lived about 3 or 4 years after that, right? They say it was good stock. He had the ultimate good stock. But I want to thank you, Franklin. You've been fantastic here, and everywhere he goes, he's always the first one I see. People don't realize it, how good it is. A lot of people, they go, well, maybe it's for the people that he's got, and you guys know because you're here, but the people that he's got have done amazing work. So I just want to thank everybody. We're going to get over and take a look. We'll say a few words. I do want to introduce some of the people that we have. And our First Lady, we'll start with our First Lady. She wanted to be here because of North Carolina, and then I said, well, you can do that, but you're going to have to come to California, too. And she said, that's okay. And we got to fix that one up, too. You ever see anything like that one? It's, who would have thought that could have happened? So, Governor Josh Stein, thank you very much. We appreciate it. And we're going to have a very long and good relationship. Representatives, maybe stand up. Representatives Chuck Edwards. Chuck, thank you. Thank you, Chuck. Tim Moore. Virginia, you know Virginia Fox, a legend. She is such a powerful woman. Pat Harrigan. Pat, thank you very much. Your Agriculture Commissioner, who I hear is excellent, Steve Troxler. Steve, thank you very much. Good job, Steve. You got plenty to do, right? More than you ever thought. Thanks, Dustin. Very good. House Majority Leader Brendan Jones. Brendan, thank you very much. We're making progress, Brendan. State Representatives Dudley Green, Carl Gillespie. Thank you very much, fellas. Good. Good. Thank you very much. State Senators Kevin Corbin, Warren Daniel. Thank you. Thank you very much, Kevin, Warren. And County Commissioner Jennifer Best. Thank you, Jennifer. Thank you. One of the worst natural disasters in American history. It was far worse than it was even billed. I have never seen such water damage. It was largely water damage, wind damage, but water damage nobody's ever seen. I've been here, as you know, numerous times, but now I'm here in a position where we can do something, meaning I've been in office for 4 days, and I wanted to come sooner, but actually they had a little problem with getting logistically in here, but I would have been here even sooner. 104 North Carolinians at least have lost their lives. Is that now a fairly firm number, or are they still finding people? You know, what do you think? They're still finding people? Pretty much okay? It's a lot of people. 104 people lost their lives. 73,000 homes were severely damaged or destroyed. And I'll tell you, I've been to a lot of them, and this was like lots of hurricanes in one. I've never seen such damage done by water. And the water came, it was violent, and it left, and there was like nothing left. It's really pretty amazing. At one point, half of the emergency calls to FEMA went unanswered. That's real bad. FEMA was not doing their job. The city of Asheville went without running water for 2 months. A whistleblower testified that some FEMA employees refused to help people who displayed Trump signs on their properties. I think that's true, isn't it? I read that. It's not nice. That's not too nice, is it? But whoever those property people were, thank you very much. Michael, is that true? That's not good, huh? About the property owners, you put a Trump sign on and they wouldn't help? FEMA. Earlier this year, FEMA, what's that all about? Is that, you know about that? What happened? Tell me.
We had an incompetent administration under Biden, and we had a disaster, and we call it the disaster after the disaster. That was the FEMA response.
You had nothing but disaster since then. It doesn't matter at this point. Biden did a bad job. Some residents still don't have hot water, drinking water, or anything else, and many of it. This is totally unacceptable, and I'll be taking strong action to get North Carolina the support that you need to quickly recover and rebuild. We're working on it very hard, and I think if Michael Whatley does half as good a job for North Carolina as he did for my campaign, we'll be very happy. Him and Laura were a very powerful team. So you think you can handle it, Michael? I don't know. I'm not sure, Michael. I think this is maybe in many ways easier, okay? Maybe easier. But you're going to lead the team. Do you want to say who the congressmen are that you want to appoint? Do you want to introduce them?
We have Virginia Fox, Chuck Edwards, and Tim Moore, whose districts encompass the area.
And they are the districts that were most severely impacted, right? You were affected then, Virginia?
Yes, lost my own firewall.
Really? No. I'll also be signing an executive order to begin the process of fundamentally reforming and overhauling FEMA, or maybe getting rid of FEMA. I think, frankly, FEMA is not good. I think when you have a problem like this, I think you want to go and waste time calling FEMA, and then FEMA gets here and they don't know the area, they've never been to the area, and they want to give you rules that you've never heard about. You could go back a long way. You could go back to Louisiana. You could go back to some of the things that took place in Texas. It turns out to be the state that ends up doing the work. It just complicates it. I think we're going to recommend that FEMA go away, and we pay directly. We pay a percentage to the state. But the state should fix this. If the state did this from the beginning, it would have been a lot better situation. I think you guys agree with that, right? So I just want to say that Asheville, I know it well. It's a great place, and we're going to have it be a great place again. That was the one that was most severely affected. But North Carolina is going to come back bigger, better, stronger than ever before. And you're going to be very thankful. And you've already seen, I know that it really began 4 days ago, but you've already seen more action than you have in the last 3 months. And we're going to get it together. We're informing the Army Corps of Engineers to get going because you have a lot of river breaks and a lot of areas that you're going to need some pretty big work. And they're on their way. They're going to be working much harder than they've been working in the past, and we're going to take care of it. Any questions from the press of any of the congressmen, governor, anybody?
Sir, are you going to sign an executive order on FEMA, getting rid of it? Can you say more about signing an executive order to get rid of FEMA, please?
FEMA has been a very big disappointment. They cost a tremendous amount of money. It's very bureaucratic, and it's very slow. Other than that, we're very happy with them. Okay, and I think when there's a problem with the state, I think that problem should be taken care of by the state. That's what we have states for. They take care of problems. and a governor can handle something very quickly. You know, one of the things I've noticed, because I've been doing this for a while, and we had a pretty good FEMA, but I also noticed that when they come, they end up in arguments. They're fighting all the time over who does what. It's just not a good system. This system is so beautifully designed over 250 years approximately, you know, and we'll soon be celebrating the 250th year. It's going to be a very big celebration. But when everybody knows, I never thought of it, but you're right over the ridge.
Right over the hillside.
So you're here to help. That's great.
The people in this region, including Tennessee, the people of Appalachia, are grateful that you are here and that you haven't forgotten it. And that there are other disasters, but this one was enormous for both North Carolina and Tennessee. So thank you.
You know, I've seen a lot of disasters, and when I came here right after, the day after. And when I came here, I couldn't believe it, actually. I couldn't believe the damage. And I've seen a lot of them. This was more like a tornado than it was what we witnessed. So we're going to get it very much taken care of. Good job. And so you call it you're right over the ridge, right, Tennessee?
Over the ridge, yes.
I like Tennessee, too. Let's see, where did I get more votes, Tennessee or North Carolina? I hate to tell you, North Carolina, it was Tennessee.
There's one of the counties in this disaster that had 88% for you. So
88%, yeah. No, the people are just incredible people. Yeah. So, do you have any questions, press?
President, you talked about conditions being placed on aid to California, voter ID, and the like. Are there any conditions that you're going to put on aid to North Carolina?
We're going to do a lot for North Carolina. You know, they've been very slow. I don't know why it's been so bad. This has been one of the worst I've seen. Katrina, of course, you know, was something that obviously that was a long time ago. That was not good. But this has been very slow. I don't know if that was for political reasons because they lost the state. You know, Biden lost the state. Maybe he felt he doesn't care. Maybe there were other reasons. I don't know. But this has been very slow. By any standard, this has been very slow. And we're gonna make up for lost time.
No conditions you're going to push for aid.
Well, in California, I have a condition. In California, we want them to have voter ID so the people have a voice, because right now the people don't have a voice because you don't know who's voting, and it's very corrupt. And we also want them to release the water. If they released the water, they wouldn't have had a problem. If they released the water when I told them to, because I told them to do it 7 years ago, if they would have done it, you wouldn't have had the problem that you had. You might not have even had a fire. So, but here I don't have that. It's a different thing. You got hit by a storm. The people are incredible. They worked really well. Franklin was fantastic, and other groups. By the way, other groups came in that were also fantastic. And other states came in, Tennessee and a couple of others came in, and they really helped. That's the way it's supposed to be. No, this is a different kind of a thing. About what?
Have you decided how much funding you would allocate for disaster relief?
I haven't. I have to see what it is.
Are you disappointed that Senator Schiff hasn't joined you on this trip? It's reported he invited Senator Schiff to join you on this trip, and he was too busy. Are you disappointed?
I don't know. I was told that Schiff was going to travel with us to California. I wasn't thrilled, to be honest with you. And I saw him last night on television. It looks like he got hit with a baseball bat or something. What happened to him? Something happened to him. It looked like he got hit. It looked like he got beat around. But I'll ask Caroline to find out what happened to him. No, if he wanted to come out, I would have done that. But I don't know. Somebody said that he wanted to come on the plane, but I think he's staying back for the votes. There's some pretty good votes going. For this one, and here you're talking about to start. We're going to start immediately. Timeline, and to finish, it's going to be a period of time. You know, people are also rebuilding their houses. How long does it take to build a house, right? It takes some time. And I want them to build houses bigger, better, nicer than they had before, so they can have, at least they get something out of this disaster. This was a real disaster. No, timeline will be fast, as you know. Starlink, we had no communication. The first day I got here, I was asked by one of the people, one of the really great representatives, professionals, that is there anyone? And I called up Elon Musk, and he had, you know, hundreds of units brought here, brought immediately. And it's hard to get. They couldn't get them before. And that made a lot of difference. I think it saved a lot of lives, actually. Yeah. Infrastructure-wise, we'll do it quickly.
Sir, can you just talk about how long you think it might take to get rid of FEMA? What's the timeline on that? If you're going to roll it back?
Yeah, I would say, look, as far as I'm concerned, I'm not really thinking about FEMA right now here. I'm thinking about Michael Watley, and I'm thinking about the 3 Congress people that you just heard from, and also the other people in Congress, and they'll be working with the governor. They'll be working with the governor, so that's what I see.
Change the subject real quick. Riley Act was signed by Speaker Johnson yesterday.
Right.
When do you anticipate to sign that into
Well,
office?
we're honored by that. Lakin Riley, I was there at the time, and we had a big meeting with the parents right after that horrible thing took place. And we have an act. You all know what that act represents. And it was a bipartisan bill. Many Democrats signed onto it. That's something that is a tribute to Lakin, a beautiful young lady who was killed viciously by an illegal alien. And we passed a very powerful bill, and it was just approved, and we'll have a ceremony sometime very shortly. I'll be signing it. In other words, if you're asking, I will definitely be signing it. Okay? Yeah.
Was terminated last night, and I'm wondering if you have any comment on that.
About what?
The security detail for Anthony Fauci was terminated last night, sir. Do you have a comment?
No, I think, when you work for government, at some point your security detail comes off. And, you can't have them forever. So I think it's very standard. If it would be for somebody else, you wouldn't be asking the question. The question is very fair. But, you work for government. We took some off, other people too. But you can't have it for the rest of your life because you work for government. Yeah, we'll see what happens.
Would you feel partially responsible if something would happen to, say, Dr. Fauci
No.
or John Bolton?
No. They all made a lot of money. They can hire their own security, too. All the people you're talking about, they can go out. Actually made a lot of money. They all did. So if they, felt that strongly, I think that certainly I would not take responsibility.
North Carolina is a state that relies on trade and manufacturing. Are you going to have an announcement on new tariffs coming soon? Is there a timeline now?
Yeah, the tariffs are going to make our country rich. We're going to be a rich, rich country very soon. Tariffs are going to make it rich, and competence. We have common sense, competence, and tariffs. The word tariff is one of the most beautiful words in the dictionary.
Jonathan Reynolds, the business secretary of the United Kingdom, said that there's an even trade between the U.S. and the U.K., so they shouldn't have tariffs. Does trade imbalances or a balanced trade affect tariffs and your decisions?
Yeah, unbalanced and balance, and also deficits. Like with Canada, we lose $200 billion a year with Canada. That's because we allow them to make cars. We allow them to take lumber. We don't need their cars. We don't act right on the other side of the border. It's sort of crazy. So we've just allowed that, bad management has allowed it over the last 4 years in particular to become very imbalanced. And I said I call him Governor Trudeau, but he's Prime Minister Trudeau when he was Prime Minister. I asked him, why would we do that? Why? And he was unable to give me an answer. He said, I don't know. And I said, do you think it's fair that we're paying $200 billion to keep Canada going? And what would happen, I asked him, what would happen if we didn't do that, if we didn't subsidize Canada? He said, we'd be a failed nation. And I said, then you should be a state. Because why are we paying all of that money to Canada when, we could use it ourselves, right? So we take care of their military. We're going to order about 40 Coast Guard big icebreakers, big ones. And all of a sudden, a nation. Also, they've been very nasty to us on trade. Historically, Canada has been very, very bad to us, very unfair to us on trade. So we'll see how it all works out. I would love to see Canada be the 51st state. The Canadian citizens, if that happened, would get a very big tax cut, tremendous tax cut, because they're very highly taxed. And you wouldn't have to worry about military. You wouldn't have to worry about many of the things. You'd have better health coverage. You'd have much better health coverage. So I think the people of Canada would like it, if it's explained. But just to start off, they'd have a massive tax cut, and they'd have a lot more business, because then we'd let business go to Canada routinely, and there'd be no tariffs. If we did that, there'd be no tariffs.
The United Kingdom might be in a better spot then.
Reverend Franklin Graham has been a great asset to the state. Talk a little bit about the way Samaritan Purse has helped North Carolina.
Yeah, say once again, the first.
Reverend Franklin Graham has been a big part of Samaritan Purse and their aid to North Carolina. Just want to get your thoughts
Well,
on that.
Franklin Graham has been a big asset to the state. His father was a big asset to the state, to the country, both of them. I just think this. I think Franklin and other people that are doing what Franklin have done, but I've known Franklin so long. He was at the inauguration. He made a speech, beautiful prayer. He does a great job. And we made a big donation, and it was money well spent. Sometimes you make donations, it's not well spent. He's done a great job here. He's done a really great job. So I want to thank you. We're going to the site now, and one of the sites, and I think for those that haven't seen it, you won't even believe it. But not enough work was done. We'll get it done fast. And I can speak for the Republican congressman. We're going to knock it out, right? We're going to knock it out. And I think we take it very personally because it was very, very unfairly treated. And it was obvious. It was too obvious. And we're going to make up for lost time. So thank you to the people of North Carolina. Thank you, everybody.
Dyson said he saw it.
My name is Gina Bloom, B-L-U-M.
Where are you from, Gina?
I am from Sullivan, Missouri.
Gina Bloom, G-I...
N-A.
B-L-O-O-M.
B-L-U-M.
B-L-U-M. Okay.
Yes.
What do you see, and what do you think about Trump coming?
It's very exciting. I've been here since October, and it's very humbling experience, actually, because I've met a lot of people here, and I've made a lot of connections.
Yeah, we did. It's okay, it doesn't matter. Let's not forget the bill. I think they ran out. I heard they did one extra. Oh, that's all
Yeah, right here. Hey, don't be surprised if halfback doesn't block that a little bit. As long as they don't try to go around behind. What's Shane? Oh, man, she's white. Yeah, the cold. Here we are, guys. I'll see you then. Glad I wasn't picking my nose. Didn't notice me filming. I could have been picking my nose or something. We're on WLOS right now. I was wondering if they actually got us online.
Yeah. Yes, sir. Step back.
After you move that X, we'll follow rules.
You don't want to get in trouble.
1, 2, 3.
Thank you very much. Feel free to stand on the X's as well.
It didn't work. That's my secret. We did sod and pine straw. Took my roofing shingles.
That works. Thank you. It's okay. You want to put this in your jacket right here on your belly? Does that make you feel warmer? Good.
Could give us like a hot beverage or something. I could call her this room and ask her to bring us.
It is. It's a cake.
Do you work over at BCS?
Oh, but
Yes, they do.
Oh, okay.
I just texted this a picture to my daughter, and George is teaching. She says, "I'm watching you text this to me."
Really?
So we're on right now somewhere.
We're live.
Yep. Look, Jackie. There's me reaching over to say something to you. There's a picture right there.
Yeehaw.
So my daughter said, "She's I'm watching you send me this text."
Hey, Leo.
Where?
Hey, Miss Martinez.
My daughter said, "Why don't you have him call and then FaceTime my class?" I was like, "Sure, he's like, yeah, why? Sure, he'd love to."
Check out this fire truck. You saw both of them? With the people on it or the other? You like all that yellow? I don't think it's as bad. We're on the right, not fire truck. What's that? Basketball, baseball, you got them all.
But I gotta remember, he's like,
The battery?
Yeah, I did. Yeah, I see that.
All right. I'll be right back. I'm going to get my gloves. I'm on IFB.
wasn't great, but it wasn't bad.
Do you think the president is in there?
Yeah.
Okay. Cannot get through on IFB, Bob, so you're going to have to maybe cue me.
He wants a straight live. Do you want to just put it into mine?
Yes, please.
Well, it's nice talking to you. Okay, nice meeting you.
Thank you.
Well, it was great meeting you.
Yeah, it was great
Starting out.
meeting you.
What's your name? I'm Max.
Thank you. Yeah, if you just tuck on the other side, you're good.
This is brand new. I literally just got it. It's not
I'll say medium. I'm gonna keep you off mute. Okay.
He's here. We can't do much.
It's a great honor to be here with these people today that have suffered so much. And to lose everything you have, and you just wonder what you're going to do and where you're going to go. And we just thank God, and I want to say thank God that He's given us the resources to be able to help. And a lot of people have helped, and not just Samaritan's Purse, but there's been many different organizations and volunteers that have just come to Western North Carolina and East Tennessee to help. I grew up, this is my backyard, I grew up about 8 miles or so from here. And this is home to me. But we've got a family today. We've got the West family. this is their house. So we're here today to show the president just a little bit of the damage and the problems that the people of Western North Carolina are facing. So, Mr. President, thank you for what you have done for Western North Carolina. Thank you for coming again to see. Thank you, your son Don Jr., he came with us twice. And so they've taken a real interest. And this isn't a politician coming down here looking for votes. This is a man who wants to do something, who wants to see some changes, who wants to make life better for you. So thank you. And Melania, thank you so much for coming. It's an honor to have you here with us. So, Mr. President, please.
Thank you very much, Franklin. Thank you. All right, good man. He's done a great job, fantastic job. And we've come to North Carolina with a simple message for all the people of this region who are hit so hard by Hurricane Helene. And that message is very simple. You are not forgotten any longer. You were treated very badly by the previous administration. And I'm here after a few days of the administration. We're going to California, Los Angeles. They got hit hard, as you know. Didn't use it. But I'm going there. But and it was set up to go there. They said, well, wait a minute, what about North Carolina? They said, well, what would you? I said, I have to stop there first. I'm stopping in North Carolina. So we made the stop, and I feel very good. You're represented by some great people, great congressmen are with us, and we're going to get involved with them. And Michael Whatley is here, who is the head of the Republican Party. He worked with Laura Trump to take us through to a tremendous victory, one of the, as the media says, one of the most consequential presidential elections ever. They say in 129 years, whatever that may mean. But whatever it is, it was a great election we had, and we won your state. All 3 times we won your state. And all 3 primaries we won your state. So we won it 6 times, I guess, Mr. Congressman. And it's a great place. And I wanted to come here. And before I went anywhere, frankly, in the campaign, I promised that I'd come back to Western North Carolina to help the people of the state. And today, here I am to deliver on that promise. And it's fixed. You need a lot of roads fixed, and we're going to get it done in rapid time. And I've asked Susie Wiles and all of my people to start calling up, get the Corps ready, and they're going to get ready to go. I don't know what it is. I don't know what took so long for the other administration. But remember, I was 1 or 2 days ago, and we've made a lot of progress over the last couple of days, Michael. I understand we're going to get you the resources you need and the support that you deserve, and we'll be at your side through every step of the rebuilding, and no American is going to be left behind. The people that I just met are so great. And the people that own that house is going to be very beautiful in a little while. And who knows, if Franklin decides, maybe he'll rip it down and build him a new one, because sometimes you can do that just as easily. But we're going to take care of the people. I want to thank our great First Lady for coming today. She really wanted to be here. She said, no, I want it very badly, and she wanted to go. And we're then going out together to Los Angeles. But she wanted to be in North Carolina. She saw what happened. She has a feeling like I do for North Carolina. So thanks as well to a great gentleman, Franklin Graham's father, Billy Graham. I used to go with my father to Yankee Stadium and places to watch his father preach. And he was some preacher. You got good stock. You come from the ultimate genes, I can tell you. But he was really something. And Franklin, though, has done so much, and his father's looking down on him right now. I guarantee for a long time he's been looking down on Franklin, saying, I'm very proud of you, son. He really is, because what Franklin's done with Samaritan's Purse is incredible. They told me just yesterday that Samaritan's Purse has been great, but the FEMA people sort of left you high and dry, but we're going to change that around. We're not happy with FEMA. As well as all of the representatives. You have great representatives here. Chuck Edwards, who's here someplace. Where's Chuck? Where's Chuck? Chuck. Tim Moore. Tim, thank you, Tim. Great job, too. Both of you guys. Virginia Fox, a power. She's a power, that one. Don't ever have her as your enemy. It's not good. It's not healthy. Pat Harrigan. Good job, Pat. Addison McDowell. These guys were just here, just put in. and they're doing a fantastic job. Ed Knott, thank you, Brad. Greg Murphy, fantastic guy, my friend for a long time now, right? And the RNC chairman, Michael Watley, who really, as I said, brought us to a great victory with Lara, the chairman of the party, the whole Republican. I took Michael Watley from North Carolina because he did the best job and put him in charge of everything, and the job they did together was incredible. Last September, Hurricane rose to far more than 30 inches, which is lethal, unleashing unprecedented devastation throughout western North Carolina and many other states. Protect its people, and that's never truer than in times of emergency like this. Unfortunately, our government failed you, but it wasn't the Trump government. It was a government run by Biden. What a terrible situation. But our government failed the people of North Carolina in this horrible crisis. For 2 months, Asheville lacked running water, and even today, some North Carolinians can't take a hot water shower. They can't drink water. They don't know where to get it. They have to. It's still 180 roads remain closed. That displaced North Carolinians out of their temporary housing into freezing 20-degree weather. I don't know how they did that one, because it was cold, even while your government provided shelter and housing for illegal aliens from all over the world. But under the Trump administration, the days of betrayal and neglect are over. They are over. As I said in my inaugural address, we restore the integrity, competency, and loyalty of the American government. And I think I said most of it in the inaugural address. We said a lot of things, but a lot of that was in reference to you and what you've had to suffer. I'm pleased to announce that under our leadership, the federal government will be surging housing solutions to the state that go beyond mere temporary hotel stays that ended up being very short term. The government wouldn't do it any longer, which is ridiculous. We'll marshal all available resources to bring back potable water and make your water and infrastructure dramatically more reliable very quickly. Today, I'll also be signing an executive order slashing all red tape and bureaucratic barriers and permits to ensure the rapid reconstruction of the roads here in western North Carolina. We're going to go through a permitting process that's called no permitting, just get it done. That's the way they built them many years ago, right? We will get them back very quickly, and we'll begin the work of fundamentally changing, terminating, or overhauling FEMA. FEMA's been a disaster no matter where they are. We're honored to be joined today very quickly by several families affected by the vicious storm. I'd like to ask each of them to share their story. Chris and Kim West, you could come forward. Ramona Nix, Jackie Mitchell, and Thomas Gary Bright. And finally, the Wright family. And come on up and maybe say a few words, please. Thank you very much. Hello.
Hi.
Come on in here.
Whenever it started, we started moving our vehicles to the top of the road, and by the time we got the vehicles moved, the water had already hit our ankles in the house. And so I grabbed my purse and my little pug dog, and my husband grabbed the dog food and put it in a trash bag, and by the time we got out into the driveway, it was already waist deep, and there was sticks and that kind of thing. I didn't think I was going to make it, but we did make it out, and we made it to the top of the road, and we were kind of stuck there for hours because we couldn't get out any of the ways because it was flooded all the way around. It took us hours, and we sat there, and finally it receded enough to where we could actually get out. It was probably like close to midnight, and it started like 5-6 o'clock in the morning. We just lost everything that we had. Didn't even have a brush for like 3 days. So. Thank you.
Would you like to say something with that beautiful baby?
Hey. Yeah, so when the hurricane storms hit
North Carolina hit our home, my daughter and my wife and I were actually out of town. But unfortunately, my dad was still at home, and my mother was staying at our house with our animals. And the waters got so high that it actually lifted between that and the tornado that came through, or microburst is what they've been calling them, and lifted his home and the house that I grew up in and crashed it into our barn. It took away his business. It took away all of our tools and tractors and everything needed to keep the farm going. And my mother was trapped in the house.